Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Pro and Expert Division with various wins for the Centenary Harbor and the Pacific Cup tournament here in Golf Clash the game. Before we take a closer look at all the content, make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. For those of you that do want to take the next step in your game, you do scan the QR code here on the screen or you use the link patreon.com/golfclashtom and you can find in the description down below. That will take you to our platform where we list all our premium guides and you can select the package that suits you. We do have something for every game mode in the game. Follow the info box on the right hand side for the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type we suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there is always a plan behind it. So let's go to hole number 1. Hole number 1 is an old win since the Easter tournament and it works as equally well now. This is the option, this is the aggressive option where you play with a P5 ball, either a wind 1 or a wind 0. So if you want to go full free to play here, playing Berserker, do that. It's up to you. I like to play with the wind 0 to give myself a slower needle, which helped me being more consistent. Start at the top of plus 25, adjust max plus 10 P5, and then we're going to push up. And we're pushing up with a POC 7. We're pushing up 8 rings after the adjustment. And once we have done that, we're using 5.8 top spin and 1 left spin. And as you will notice, you can still play with an Apocalypse level 4 plus here if you would like. Max curl to the right and try to hit perfect. Single grades, grades overall when it comes to send-its like this is definitely going to be a good possibility for you to get yourself around the green. Now, being a little bit unlucky, I'm clipping the rough here, but still having a short wedge. The wedge from this direction plays with an EB school plus 30 sorry, is placed EB school plus 20, obviously, as you see in the info box there. P5 numbers. Again, you can play with a Berserker if you want to keep it completely free to play. Get the full guides for hole and number 1 and the rest of the holes in this playthrough by scanning the QR code here at the top, or you go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy and sign up for any of our guides. You get immediate access to expert and master qualifying round guide when you sign up. Hole number 2. Here we're going to play with top of the blue ring by the edge of the fairway, where the fairway meets that rock patch. Hole guideline through the hole before you have applied spin. 3.7 backspin and 1 left spin. I strongly recommend to use a side spin 1 ball to start with to allow you to simplify finding the 1 left spin. Once that is done, we're going to apply an adjustment that is medium distance with a 40% over adjustment power 2 ball setting. So for 7.8 miles per hour, I'm adjusting 9.5 rings. Sure, you can play this shot all the way up to 9.1 with a Kingmaker, but to allow you to only have to pull once, then play with, then play with a ball that gives you a wind below 8.3 miles per hour. So then you can swap between a wind 3 and a wind 4 if you want. You don't have to, but if you want. Dead center for a lovely hole in 1, and this is the angle to do nothing. So just center the ball. If you do want to get the full details for hole number 2 and the rest of our holes here in this playthrough, make sure to scan the QR code here at the top or go directly through patreon.com/golfclashtommy. You will get access immediately upon sign up. Hole number 3. This is option number 1 in our guide, the more aggressive option that actually gives us a proper look at the Albatross. We're looking to have the blue ring to be by the rough line with a POC 7 at max P5 line. And now we're looking at the wind angles while we are adjusting, because that's important. That's going to determine what amount of rings we're going to push up. Adjust its max plus 10 P5. We're pushing up with a POC 7 here with 3 rings in this angle. Max top spin, and we're using 2 left spin, and we're gonna use half a ball of left curl. It might look strange that we're using left spin and left curl when the pin stands more right, but the reason for it is that we do want to bounce on the fairway into the rough and roll out. And if we're coming too far to the right, we won't be able to do that. Then it will clip the rough twice and we might stay in the rough. And that is obviously with using all the topspin we were doing here. Sure, for those of you playing with Apocalypse level 5 or 4, can maybe use topspin boost. It's not tested, but that's just an idea that I do have that might be worth exploring if you do want to play aggressive. On the second shot, it's important that you have the B-52 or the Goliath equipped, because we want to have all the power it has to be able to do a fringe check, where the fringe meets the green behind the pin. Now, and we're going to apply 3.5 bar topspin, and we're going to look to have the tip of the ball guide line 2 green squares short of pin, because if we're having it closer to hold, we're going to come in to hold and we're going to bounce out. 30% elevation, and we're going to use with the back fringe check as a reference. Then we do have +4 as our base, which is 62% slider, with then the 30% elevation, and then we're adding or subtracting 0.1 for every yard. And the reason we're using 0.1 for every yard this time is due to the high elevation that we're using. Center the ball and hit perfect, and this will actually be a pretty proper chance for an albatross from distance. Hole number 3 is definitely not the easiest one. The drive is definitely key. Be good doing the drive, and then you will have a proper shot. Even if you mess it up when it comes to the drive and you end up into the rough, it's a super simple save from there, so there is not really any risk towards that. However though, if you don't have the club or the ball, you can always use option number 2 that we do have in the guide. So for the full guide for hole number 3, option 1 and option 2, scan the QR code here at the top or go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. You get immediate access when you sign up for the expert division qualifying round guide and also the master division qualifying round guide. Hole number 4, here we start with the rock at complete max distance, a white ring to the right by the rough line. And then we're going to play with 4.3 topspin. We're going to make an adjustment that is max +20 power 3 ball settings. Once we have adjusted, we shall with rock 8 push up 1 yard. Rock 7 we push up 7 yards just to compensate. Then you might think, why push up 8 yards with rock 7 and not 6, as we technically should if we're looking in the relation to power from rock 9 to rock 7, is because we want to compensate for the slightly lesser topspin that we do have on rock level 7 compared to rock level 8 and 9. Ball will bounce on the fairway into the rough and roll out nicely on the fairway island, and now we're going to have a lovely little rough bump on the second shot. Second shot is with Goliath. The reason for the Goliath is because that's a club that generally is in a high level for players that play in Master. Sure, you can use the B-52 as well, as it has the same power, but I like to avoid the Grizzly due to the fact that it has lesser power. Now, we're adding the spins, which is half a bar of backspin, 3 left spin, moving the ball guideline, so if you back up the tape a little bit, you can see that I was waiting for the part where the ball guideline is showing rolling down like that, past the pin, and also being just left of the pin. The reason I want that spot is because I don't want to come in short. I want to have speed enough to roll, and as we're pulling down into the bunker, what we're doing there is that we are losing distance the more we pull down into the bunker, so we need to compensate that, and that's what I'm doing with the ball guideline. Using our landing position here, +5 is our base, 88% slider, no elevation, P3 numbers, and we're adding or subtracting 0.1 for every 2 yards. Ball bounces into the rough, and I'm dropping this one lovely for an eagle on hole number 4. Get the full guide for hole number 4 and all the other holes here in this playthrough by scanning the QR code here at the top, or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Once you do sign up, you get immediate access to the expert qualifying round guide and also the master qualifying round guide, because anything that we do for the 9-hole cups are included in our 9-hole cup packages. So find your package and sign up directly. Take your game to the next level with our premium guides for the Pacific Cup Tournament. Ultimate Tournament text guide for expert and master will be provided throughout the week as per normal. We are updating for the wind changes, and we are catering to free-to-play balls and paid balls. So it doesn't matter what type of tournament player you are, we have something for you. If you're looking for tour guides, checkpoint challenge, or 9-hole cups, we do have that all. So you can bundle it together and pay and buy separately. Scan the QR code here on the screen, or you use the link patreon.com/golf-tommy. That is in the description down below. That will take you to our platform, our Patreon platform, where you then can pick the package that suits your gameplay. If you need any assistance or you want to see an example guide before you sign up, then email support@golf-tommy.com. Hole number 5 is a tough par 3. We're gonna play on the left hand side, only using 3 right spin. White ring to be by the bunker, and white ring to also be where the fairway meets the rough. So I'm turning my screen around to make it easier for me to see from this view. Now, 0.9 topspin, which is 1 click away from 1 topspin. It looks like 1 topspin in the video, but I'm making sure that I'm just 1 click away from 1 topspin. 3 right spin as well. Adjust is 1 to 1 plus 1.2, which is 8.9 rings, and then I'm pulling back 1.5 rings. The reason I'm pulling back is to allow myself to come in with a proper speed. If I'm not pulling back, I do risk actually missing the rough, because we are adjusting up, so we're adjusting from a lower to a higher point, and we're going to gain distance in that way. Perfect ball it is. In this angle, we're not going to do anything. This is the best angle to get. The ball rolls down onto the green, takes the turn, and even if it takes a lot of time, it will still get there, and we're dropping it for a lovely hole-in-one. If you're looking for the full detail for hole number 5 and the rest of the holes in this playthrough, then make sure to scan the QR code here at the top, or you go through patreon.com/golf-tommy. Is the link in the description down below, and you sign up. You will get immediate access to our qualifying round guide for expert and for master division directly upon sign up. Hole number 6, here we play an NMT, so don't move your target at all until it's time to adjust the rings. 2.6 topspin, and we are going to go with no side spin here. Max plus 10, P3 is what we're using as adjustment, and even if we're pulling to overpower, we shall not use any overpower to compensate. For those playing with Apocalypse level 4, do exactly the same thing. The only difference is that you're going to use circle drop overpower, and what that is that you move your ball down until the circle jumps. And if you don't know even then what that is, then go into practice and try it out, and you will notice a jump when you move the ball down. And the reason we do that is to compensate for the lesser power. 347 yards is absolutely perfect. Now, second shot is with your turn plus yardage. So plus 7 is what we're using here. 2 left spin and 2.6 top spin. Sorry, 2.7 to be accurate. Red ring by the rough line, ball guideline through the hole, and then we're going to, from plus 7, what we're using as base there is 10% slider, no elevation, P3 numbers, and that's Sniper 10. Sniper 9 is going to use plus 9 as a base instead, due to the slightly less power. Now, adjustment is done, and we're gonna add one little thing here, and that is we're gonna go with circle break on the power, same as we're doing in Master Division on this hole. So we go moving the ball to center, then moving it straight up until the circle cracks. That will give us a way to compensate for otherwise having to go with on the power, compensate for otherwise have to go with a pullback, which I believe is less. It's a bigger chance to be inaccurate with that. If you're looking for the full guide for hole number 6 or any other hole in this playthrough, scan the QR code or go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy. Once you sign up, you get immediate access to expert and master if you choose one of our 9-hole cup guides, and both guides are out, so you will get access immediately. Hole number 7, start at max P3 line, and we're using the red ring to be by the rough line here with a POC 8. 5.8 top spin and 2 right spin, and we're going to make an adjustment that is max plus 10 P3. Once we have made the adjustment, we're going to push up. I'm going to push up 2 rings for a POC 8, and now you may be wondering, what should we do with an POC 4 if we do not have because we don't have the distance, we do have 6 yards less power, then we're pushing up a little bit more to compensate for that. Obviously, all of that is listed in Telegram and also in the guide. Max overpower with a completely slow needle, not completely slow, that was a lie, slightly shake of the needle and the ball bounces, and we're looking to be around 420 yards. Here we actually want to have a controlled distance, we don't want to get as far as possible. What needs to be said though is that I tried several times to go directly over the water, but it was so wind strength dependent, and I eventually then scrapped it because I don't want to play with those small margins. Sure, in the best of the world, we have a high wind, we are by the green, but in the worst case, we might clip the rough or even go into the water with a low wind, and then, I mean, what's the point? Because then we don't really have a shot for the eagle anyway. So, lay up and make it consistent instead. Now, we play your turn plus yardage here, and here obviously having a ball that has more power than power 3 is actually pretty good, because then we will allow ourselves to even go shorter than what we... than 420 yards. Top, tip of the ball guideline, 2 green squares short of hole with 3 topspin applied, and then we're going to make an adjustment that is from the +5 as a base with medium distance with a 15% elevation, P3 numbers. So it's 50% slider, which is medium distance. That's why I call it medium distance. And then we're going to have a good chance. Center the ball, hit perfect, and this is going to be a very good chance for us to drop this par 4, which I do believe actually is a little bit trickier than what I thought from the beginning, because I thought I could easily clear the water, but I couldn't. And then, I mean, in the end, found this one, super pleased with it here for hole 7. If you do want to get the full detail for hole 7, you scan the QR code here at the top, or you go to patreon.com/golf-tommy. Once you do sign up, you get immediate access to the expert qualifying round guide, but also for everything we do for master the vision in the 9-hole cups. Make sure to sign up already now. Hole number 8 is a very difficult par 3, but what I'm doing here is I'm starting with my quarterback level 10 at max P1 line, with the second bounce to be in the center of the bright green square, blue ring by the rough line. Now I'm applying the spins, 3 right spin, 4.8 backspin, swapping to the Thor's hammer to allow myself to pull more than what I would be able to do with the quarterback, because as we're having headwind here, if continue to pull with the quarterback, we will pull in between clubs, and that's going to be a complete mess. So I'm swapping to the Thor's hammer, and you can play as low as Thor's hammer level 5 if you would like. Adjust this medium distance with a 15% over adjustment, power 1 ball settings, and this is the center ball angle, the do nothing angle, which is perfect. And we're bouncing nicely on the fairway, leaving ourselves room for great right and great left if we would be messing that one up, and getting a dead center for a lovely hole-in-one. Super difficult par 3, but with the video here and also with the text guide, it allows you to actually have a very good chance to drop here on this hole. Scan the QR code here at the top, or go to patreon.com/golf-tommy for the full details regarding hole number 8 and also the rest of the holes in this playthrough. For hole number 9, we have 2 options. This is a big boy play, and we are playing this one with a power 5, side spin 2+, and then with wind 3 as worst. We can play with wind 4 and also wind 5 if we would like. Start with the rock, and with rock 9, we start at the top of +15 with blue ring by the rough line, rock 8, top of +16, and rock 7, top of +21. Swap to Apocalypse after that. Doesn't matter if it's Apocalypse level 4 or better. And then we're going to apply 4.5 bar topspin, adjust max +20, P5, and use whatever overpower we adjust into. Now, the ball will bounce on the fairway, then on the fairway again, and to then clip the rough and roll out nicely. And now we're going to be consistently around 345 to 350 yards. On the second shot, as it is headwind, we're going to have a compressed ball guideline, which means that we're going to land further back than where we aim. So that's why I'm using the bullseye by the rough line tip of the ball guideline before spin to be just 1 green square left of the pin. Then I'm applying whatever spins that get the ball guideline 2.5 green square through the hole. And that's going to be all from, you know, a couple of clicks of backspin to a couple of clicks of topspin, and with approx 1 right spin. Adjust is going to be with a +4 as a base. It's 50% slider with a 20% elevation, P5 numbers, and we're adding subtracting 0.1 for every 2 yards. Adjust is done, and we are then center the ball and to hit. Perfect. Obviously this is no gimme, but playing a shot like this from this spot is allowing us to attack the pin for an albatross, which is the goal with a play like this when it is a little bit more aggressive. So getting it to drop hard right, I mean, who cares? It drops, right? If you're looking for the full guide for hole 9 or any other hole in this playthrough, scan the QR code here at the top, or you go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. You get immediate access when you sign up to any of our 9-hole cup guide packages for the expert qualifying round and the master qualifying round guide. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Pro and Expert Division with various win for the Centenary Harbor in the Pacific Cup tournament here in Golf Clash the game. Scan the QR code here on the screen or use the link patreon.com/golfclashtommy to get to our premium guides. Tour Play, Checkpoint Challenge, 9-hole cup, and 18-hole tournaments, but you have something for everyone. So go to our Patreon page and select the package for you. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.